Hi there and welcome to this week's angel reading and energy therapy session. I'm Rachel Scoltock. I'm an angel medium and an energy therapist. And this week I've chosen some cards for you from the Angel Prayers deck by the lovely Kyle Gray and some Archangel Michael cards that I have. But before I get on with that, I wanted to go through another little energy therapy session with you. I know that many of you wrote to me last week and told me that you enjoyed last week's video about how to cleanse and purify your energy and using sage and other methods. So this week I thought I'd talk to you about protecting your energy from other people's thoughts. So if you're not sure what I mean by that, I'm talking about the times where maybe you can tell that someone else is thinking a lot about you. And the way that you tell is that because you're thinking a lot about them, because you can't seem to get them out of your mind. Now that can be you too. You could be the one that's triggered that chord, or that it's just a sense that you get. You're a sensitive, empathic, intuitive person. It's just a sense that you get. You know that if you've been working closely with someone, spending a lot of time with someone, that sometimes it feels like their energy's still with you even when you're apart. Or maybe it's a colleague, maybe it's a client or a patient, maybe it's somebody that you've been trying to help, but you feel like their energy's a little bit clingy on you. And it's not because they're a bad person or anything like that. It's just that they're seeing you as someone they can depend on, and they get a little bit more needy than is healthy. And it still feels like they're with you at the end of the day. You can't seem to shake that energy. Another reason that it happens is in love relationships or romantic connections. When one person, perhaps the relationship is ended, and the other person is not willing to let go. And you can just feel that person thinking about you. They ring you all the time. They turn up all the time. The little things that make you think, right, that person hasn't left my energy yet. So it can happen for a lot of different reasons, and almost everybody has experienced this. Now, one thing that you need to know, that this is a universe that is created, our earth, the way that we live, through mental energy. So on a very practical level, if you think about something, you can create it. So if you want to invent something, it starts with a thought. If you think about going out for lunch with somebody, you start thinking about it, and then that creates the actions to call them up and arrange a lunch. So everything starts with a thought, but thoughts have their own energy. And that energy is invisible to most people, but it is, it seems solid. It actually has an impact. And so thought energy, whether you're thinking positively and negatively about someone, or if you're thinking repetitively and consistently about someone, can create an energy link between you and that person. A cruel and nasty, jealous, angry thought can fly at another person like a dagger. And that can have painful consequences. It can create a headache. It can create a neck ache. It can make you feel like you've got a back pain that you don't know how to get rid of. It can also energetically affect you. It can start to sort of make you feel unfocused, make you think negative thoughts about yourself, all kinds of ways that these kind of energies, we call that psychic attack. The psychic attack in its worst extreme is done with intent. So there we might call it a curse, where actually you're wishing ill on another person. But most people are doing psychic attack unwittingly. They're just thinking thoughts, and they're not aware of how powerful their thoughts are. So, you might look at someone beautiful and be jealous of how beautiful they are. Or you might look at someone and wish that you had the success that they've got. Or you might be jealous because they are on holidays and you wish you could go on holidays and you've had a hard time. But the thing is, those are very low-level thoughts. Those are the sort of thoughts you want to try and weed out from your life, because they're only going to create more negativity for you. The more you think about being jealous about other people's positive things, are going to make you more scarce and lacking in those things, because what you send out comes back to you. So you're coming from a place of, they've got it, I don't have it, so therefore I can't have it because they've got it, and therefore I'm going to be angry at them. That's a very poverty consciousness way of thinking. And that kind of thought will bounce back at you, because everything that you send out does come back to you 3 times over. So if you're sending a negative thought, whether it's to a person who cuts you off in traffic, or someone who's, taken something that you treasure, then that energy may well hit them and hurt them. But that revenge energy is going to come back at you, not necessarily from that person, but in another way, and pull your energy down even more. So you don't want to darken your energy by sending out negative vibes, is what I'm saying to you. You might sometimes wish it would be nice to do it, but it actually isn't going to be positive for you in any way, shape, or form, and it's just not nice. So we want to be creating a world where that kind of thing doesn't happen. That kind of thing happens enough already without enlightened, light-filled people like you doing it. So I know you know what I mean. But when it happens to us, it's not nice either, right? And we can usually feel it. I can remember recently being somewhere. I was out of town and I had this kind of aura in the back of my neck. And I looked around and there was someone that I knew. And I knew that they don't like me very much. And I felt that dagger going into my neck. So instead of taking it on and getting all sooky and getting all sad about it and basically letting it stick in me even deeper, because when we take things personally, it actually digs in deeper, I asked the angels to remove it. I just did that and sent it up to the angels and sent compassion and love for that person because they're not very happy. So that's what you can do. You can ask for those energies. So whether it comes as an angry thought, if it's a needy thought, or someone just is thinking about you, they're sending you intense thoughts. So maybe they, recently I wrote an article that was very, very popular. And that night I had to put an extra shield over my body because I could feel the people on the other side of the world who were waking up just as I was going to bed reading my article. So there was a lot of people thinking about me at that one point. So I surrounded myself with my cloak of light. And that creates an energetic block. It's like you're completely invisible, so that those thought forms, those energies cannot reach you. Whether they're coming with intention or without intention, they can't find you. So this is in my little book, which is the little blue book called Loving Your Sensitive Self, which I wrote 8-10 years ago now. And it's all about being sensitive, being an empath, and how to develop your gifts as an empath whilst protecting and managing your energy. So this is what I do before I go to bed at night sometimes, if I can feel people thinking about me or if I'm concerned that someone in particular is sending me their thoughts. So I imagine a beautiful heavy velvet cloak, one with long sleeves, a nice hood, and it's going to be falling over my feet. So it goes down to the floor. And I imagine myself putting on the cloak, putting it over my shoulders, making sure the sleeves cover right past my fingertips. And then I pull the hood up and I literally mime it this way. Pull the hood up and that goes down past the tip of my chin. Then I tie it around the waist and imagine this beautiful velvet dark blue cloak going over my feet. And then I lay down in bed and I meditate and I ask Archangel Michael to watch over me and my loved ones as I sleep. And usually, if I do that, I get a very, very peaceful night's sleep. I'm not being disturbed by outside energies whatsoever. Now, during the day, I wouldn't usually use that unless I was trying to meditate or do something really focused. Because during the day, I'm running a business, I'm connecting with people. I want people to connect with my energy and I want to connect with their energy. So I wouldn't use that. I would use a strong light around my body. So you can choose from dark pink, royal blue, purple. So let's just say we use the electric blue light of Archangel Michael. And if you don't want to use the cloak, this would also be great for you as you sleep. You surround your aura like an oval shape that goes above your head and below your feet with this electric blue or whatever color you want light. And you make sure it's behind you, in front of you, all around you, above you and below you, and ask Archangel Michael to lend you that. And that's through nothing negative can penetrate. So you're not going to feel those energies coming in. Now, whenever I call on the angels, and I spoke about this in last week's video, which is still up on my website if you want to see the cleansing energy video, I always light a candle and then call on the angels, because when you light a candle, that calls in the light. Another thing you can do to completely protect your energy, maybe you're out in public and you feel vulnerable, or maybe you see someone that you don't really want to see, is to visualize yourself with a circle of angels around you, all holding hands. But you also, with the angels standing around you, you might also want to protect your energy as well and use the bubble, like I suggested earlier. And that way you're creating a double sort of layer of energy protection. But what we want to mostly talk about this week is making sure that your mind and energy are protected from people's thoughts. So another thing that I do before I shield is that I will ask that all the thoughts of all the people that are being sent to me in that moment or have been sent to me during the day are released from me. And sometimes I will see the angels lifting what looks like almost like a helmet of cobwebs off of my head. Now, don't forget, you can also psychically attack yourself. So if you're someone that says things like, oh, I'm so stupid, oh, I'm hopeless, oh, I always get it wrong, then even if you say that in a joke, you're psychically attacking yourself, and you're going to have to lift those psychic daggers, and that's going to be another layer of heavy energy that you have to work through in your day. So it's good to stop that habit, but also to ask that the thoughts, psychic attack, the thoughts of others, and the psychic attack from within yourself are all also lifted from your energy. Or you might want to just mime it and just kind of go, right, thanks angels, this is all the thoughts of everyone else, this is all the psychic attack, please take it to the light and transmute it. Send only love out from me, because you don't want to send out anything that's going to come back to you that you don't want. I send out only love and compassion, forgiveness and peace. And when you're protected in that space, it will feel like you are, it's like when you turn your phone onto airplane mode and you switch the Wi-Fi off in the house. There's a layer of peace around you that wasn't there before. You're no longer being stimulated and by other energies. So thank you for listening. I'm going to try and share something with you every week from how to protect, cleanse, and deal with energy, how to heal with energy, because we're all energy healers within. Everybody has the ability, because we all have energy and we all have thoughts, and it's that the way we direct our thoughts. So the cards that I pulled for you today, I already did a rehearsal, so I'm sorry that I'm not shuffling them in front of you, but I really wanted to share these with you because they're so amazing. So this week's first card, which is the present situation, is the Divine Mother of Unconditional Love. Now, the Divine Mother is the feminine energy of the divine source, the divine force, which flows through all of us. So we all have the Divine Mother and the Divine Father. The Divine Mother is about love, empathy, nurturing, self-care, compassion, unconditional love, but also it's about receptivity. So the masculine energy, the divine masculine, the divine father, is about doing, going, pushing, it's active. And the Divine Mother is receptive. It's a different energy. So she's coming forward to say that, again, you're being pushed, reminded, nudged to do the self-care, to not push yourself too hard this week. And whatever you think is self-care, multiply that by 5 and put that in, because she's saying that you're not doing enough self-care. So imagine that you only put $2 worth of fuel in your tank and then try to drive. Eventually you're going to run out. So you might think, oh, I had a massage last week, or I had a day off, or I've just bought myself some nice things. That's not enough. It's too much. It's just a drop in the ocean. So the Divine Mother, Mother Mary, the Divine Feminine, is rising at the moment, because she's reminding all of us that we're all much nicer, we're much more kind, we're much more generous, we've got more to give when we have our own energies topped up. So the unconditional love of the Divine Mother is with you at this moment. The second card that we pulled from the Kyle Grey deck was the Archangel Sandalphon. Now, I love Sandalphon for 2 reasons. One, he's the angel of musicians, and music is life, isn't it? It's, musicians share their emotional energy with the world. So as long as that emotion is loving. But the miracle of prayer, he also works with prayer. So Sandalphon is the angel that carries our prayers to heaven. and he makes sure that our prayers are heard and answered. So he's really talking to us this week, and I really love that in the Mother Mary card, I don't know if you can see that, she's got her hands in prayer. So he's reminding you to use the technology of prayer, and technology is the only way I can describe it, because it is literally like switching on the Wi-Fi button on your computer. It puts you in direct contact with the divine and your angels. Prayer is a divine request. It's a petition. It's asking. But it also invokes instant help, extra spiritual help, extra light. The minute that you sit down to pray, something happens. It's like you switch yourself into a different frequency, and it's almost instantaneous. So prayer for yourself, prayer for others, prayer for the world. Very important this week to use prayer. The outcome card is the miracle of nature. Now, I love this because all of the cards this week are about connecting with the divine. I'll show you the other two in a moment. And I see this card as saying not just the miracle of nature and being outside in nature, connecting with nature, looking at pictures of nature if you can't get outside, touching plants, watching the rain on the window, looking at the sky, the star, the moon, all of that is connecting with nature. And really, if you think about your spirituality, angels, God, crystals, divine source, meditation, yoga, all of those activities, all of the things that you love about spirituality are a part of nature, because they're not man-made. They are nature-made. They're God-made. So you are a natural being. You're a being of spiritual light and a being of physical, made of the earth. So you are nature and miracle all together. So when I first read this card, all I could see was the green light of healing, and the nature of miracles is what came to me. That prayer, connecting with the Divine Mother, receptivity, being more self-caring, self-loving, is what is going to bring about a miracle this week for you. And connecting with nature, your prayers are amplified when you go into nature. Now, the last two cards came from the Archangel Michael deck, and see if you can see a theme here. God is in charge, divine law, the highest law of all, above all man-made laws, above all rules and policies and regulations. Anything that is created by man is divine law. And when we connect with divine law, that's when miracles happen. So you might say, oh no, it's going to take me forever to do this, this, and this, because, in the human world, I've got to do this, and then I've got to do that, and, it's going to take forever. But hang on a minute, if I connect to God and the angels, and I hand it over to them, maybe it won't take forever. Maybe it won't take a month or a week or a year. Maybe it will take a day. Because in divine law, anything is possible. As long as it is aligned with divine will, the highest will of all, it doesn't hurt anyone. And it's God's law. So this is really saying that the divine is in charge. And it's also reminding you, this card came up last week in the Instagram too, so I love that it came up again. Reminding you to pray, reminding you to connect, reminding you to let go, to surrender. Keep offering whatever you have going on. The struggles and the things that you want to manifest, offer them up all the time, constantly. I give this to you. I give this to you. The final card. Lean on God and the angels for support. Now, look, there are 44 cards in this deck, and there's lots of different cards. But we've only really got two that are telling us to lean on God and the angels, to surrender, to keep asking for divine help. And those two came out for you today. Very, very powerful reading this week. So this is a week where you are asked to not struggle, but to use the technology of prayer, to use the technology of offering, letting go, not trying to control things, not trying to push past things, just offering it up all the time. We try to do things on our own all the time, and it usually exhausts us, stresses us, and then it mucks things up because the human side gets caught up. So we're being asked to call on the divine this week. So with angel blessings, I thank you very much for watching and listening. Let me know in the comments what you thought of today's reading and if you're enjoying the energy element of it. I am in the middle of this most amazing period of my business life where the Rich Radiant Angel Healing Immersion, it's a program of intuitive energy therapy sessions on video call, package of those, package of readings, personalized mantras, meditations, and energy tools for you to assist you in manifesting whatever it is in your life, to raising your frequency and letting go of all of the self-sabotaging, the negative, the stuff that's been holding you back, and the unhealthy beliefs, the unconscious stuff that came from your family or your past lives. Doing this program of healing has just been utterly miraculous. The changes I've seen in the people I'm working with has been incredible. It's a one-on-one program at the moment, and there's 2 spaces coming up. So if you would like to join me in this and you want to invest in yourself, in time, energy, and money, and you're ready to do something really powerful for your life, to change your life, please get in touch. I'm only interested in working with people who are serious in that wanting to change. But I'm so excited about it. It's changed me because I'm able to work with people long term in solid blocks, and it's a really powerful transformative program, and I'm enjoying every moment of it. Of course, I'm still offering readings. If you need a reading, they're done by MP3 and emailed to you. I record them as an audio. If you'd like a single session with me, that's available too as a video call as well. So please get in touch and let me know, and if you're interested, we can talk. See you next week. Have a great week.